Some mind-bending, gravity-shifting environments, the Breen back, and they're not happy. This next puzzle piece is going to be a tricky one. All of that coming up. Hey guys, I'm Nick and welcome back to Sci-Finatics. Well, today we're talking about some of the promo photos that have recently dropped for our next episode of Star Trek Discovery Season 5, Episode 8, which is entitled Labyrinths. This episode seems like it's going to be a little bit of a kind of almost like an escape room kind of scenario where we've got Burnham leaping around different environments. There's some gravity shifting stuff going on. It's not going to be an easy task, I think, to find this next puzzle piece. There's going to be a whole bunch of proverbial hoops to jump through, I think, to get where they need to in this episode. And whilst trying to do that, it seems like we've got the Breen on their tail. They're not happy, and it looks like we might be getting a bit more action, space battle action perhaps, in this episode coming up. So we're going to take a look through all the promo photos that have come out and discuss what we might be up for in our next episode of Star Trek Discovery, Labyrinths, Episode 8. I did a video the other day which talked about this sneak peek scene for this episode, and it had a look at also a couple of trailer shots as well from that episode that's coming up. If you guys haven't seen that yet, be sure to click up here and that will show you that video. I'm also going to talk about the synopsis for the episode, what that implies in terms of what we're in for, as well as a couple of extra shots we haven't maybe looked at in as much detail from the various trailers or whatever, which kind of show a little bit of what they talk about in the synopsis, so stay tuned for that. Okay, so the synopsis for this episode reads as follows. When Captain Burnham is trapped within a mindscape designed to test her worthiness to retrieve the progenitor's powerful technology, Book, Rayner, and the crew of the USS Discovery must hold off the Breen long enough for her to escape. So let's take a look at these new promo photos and see what they have in store. And our first photo here shows our librarian character, and she's an Afrosian, as I mentioned in my previous video, same race as the President of the Federation that we saw in Star Trek VI Undiscovered Country. A lot of old books in the background there, pretty huge and impressive library. Our next shot here shows Burnham standing in what I'm assuming is the same scene from our previous shot. She's no doubt having a chat with the librarian, getting the lowdown on how to maybe access the next puzzle piece. Here's Burnham in what looks like a more exclusive part of the library. There's a lot of much older looking books in like a glass display cabinet in the background there, and a lot of older books from what it seems like up above them. Burnham is standing in what appears to be some sort of boardroom table. We've got a lot of leather chairs, gold lamps, more of an exclusive, maybe more of a precious book section here from the library that she's looking at. And the expression on her face seems to imply that she's somewhat concerned about whatever happens to be going on at this moment in time. The Breen are obviously back again in this episode. Here's a shot of Priarch Rune. He's the Breen leader, obviously Lark's uncle. And it looks like this is on board the that big Breen dreadnought that we saw in the last couple of episodes. Massive ship. Another cool shot of the Breen here. From the looks of it, there's a lot of control panels in the background of this one, standing at various stations. There's other offices, and it looks like there's some sort of hangar bay or whatever they're inside of. So I'm guessing this is on a Breen ship that is inside like the hangar bay of that massive Breen dreadnought, and they're about to launch their ship, probably to go and attack the Discovery or the Library Archive or whatever. Another shot looks like it's taken in the same environment. Only difference is this time it's got Priarch Rune. Obviously, Lark's uncle, he's no doubt in charge. So hopefully we see some cool Breen battle action in this episode. Here are some of the shots from past Discovery trailers showcasing images which I'm pretty confident are in this week's episode. This one of the Discovery flying through the Badlands, no doubt towards the Library Archive. Here's the Eternal Gallery and Archive. Pretty impressive. Looks like about a 10-story building in size. Heaps of old books there. This shot, I reckon, shows pretty much what they're talking about in the synopsis, this mindscape that Burnham gets trapped in as some sort of test to unlock the next puzzle piece, where we see all these sort of trippy, mind-bending things going on. And I reckon this shot follows that last one we just saw, where she looks like she's getting ready to start a jump or a race or something, and then she has to leap across some sort of chasm from one rock to another. Maybe this is sort of some sort of area a bit like the end of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, where he had to, take a leap of faith or something like that to get to where the room was with the Holy Grail. It seems like that Burnham's not the only one in this mindscape, and it looks like we've got Mole here trapped with her, also also vying to get her hands on the next puzzle piece. And it seems like this Mindscape has got some weird forest setting with a sort of a purple atmosphere, and it appears like they're about to fight it out, which continues into this space, which appears to be on the library archive. So it seems like they're shifting around between various different environments and everything within this space. Not to mention the state of gravity, which seems to be in constant flux, with a lot of slow motion, a lot of spinning camera shots, and people having to do acrobatics from place to place, it would seem. I hope this scene is in our next episode, which shows that massive Breen dreadnought there, a bunch of smaller Breen ships all surrounding it, and we've got the Discovery in some sort of escape maneuver there, flying away from it, being attacked. We know Burnham's on the archive, so Rayner's in the captain's chair here, bunch of explosions going off in the background, no doubt the result of a Breen attack on the Discovery. Here's a massive explosion going off. Could be a Breen ship, could be the library archive. But whatever it is, it seems to be a pretty massive explosion. And following that explosion, we seem to have a shot here of Rayner screaming at the top of his lungs, looking quite agitated. So I wonder if this is part of that battle sequence as well. I think last week's episode was a solid one. I'm hoping that this episode continues what was set up in our last episode. And we have an exciting hunt for the last of the puzzle pieces. This is the very last puzzle piece these guys have to find, which essentially means if episode 8 is the last puzzle piece, that means 9 and 10 are going to be, I guess, unlocking the progenitor's tech and wherever that might be hidden. But I'm guessing that the whole puzzle, once it's assembled, forms some kind of key that has to unlock a door or a box or something where all the information is stored. The outside of this puzzle thing does almost look like the cogs or lines and so forth in a three-dimensional key. So even though this is the last puzzle piece that the Discovery crew needs to find, obviously after that's probably going to be an even tougher puzzle to actually get themselves to wherever the actual information is hidden and to be able to unlock that following another series of tests of some kind, no doubt. But it's been an interesting season so far, so hopefully it will continue to engage and captivate and everything, and it's going to ramp up and get a little bit more exciting as well towards the finale of this, not only the season, but also the series. Sale in the merch store at the moment, 15% off everything until Thursday the 16th of May, so be sure to hop over to the merch store, the link's in the description, and you can check out all my cool t-shirts and hoodies and mugs and caps and everything and pick yourself up something at a bargain price of 15% off before that sale ends on the 16th, on Thursday. Guys, if you haven't subscribed to Sci-Finatics yet, please be sure to do so. Click on that big subscribe button to stay current and up to date with all the latest Star Trek news on YouTube. Really helps the channel out by subscribing, and also make sure that you guys get alerted to all my videos when they drop. I'll be back on Thursday for the review of episode 8, Labyrinths. Should be an interesting one, and I'll see you guys then.